Hello everybody, I'm Chuck Wiger, State Senator, and today we're going to learn more about H2O for life. And we have with us Judy Onufer. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Okay, and Judy, you're project coordinator for the Race to Reduce program as well, which is a part of H2O for life. So let's get a little background about the importance of H2O for life, because as we know, water is life.
Sure. H2O for Life is a service learning nonprofit that has been in existence now for 10 years. We're based here in Minnesota, but we are international in scope. Our primary mission is to provide youth with the opportunity to be engaged and inspire others to make a difference with the global water crisis. And that doesn't necessarily only mean that we focus on water issues beyond our borders. It really is about water conservation and resource protection, both locally and globally. So that's our primary mission. To date, we have engaged more than 600,000 youth. We are in 17 countries around the world. And every year, right here in the United States, we have an average of 170 to 200 schools that participate in our service experience.
Yes. And we're very fortunate to have you right here in the area, your headquarters in White Bear Lake. You've been at the Capitol, sharing recommendations regarding the involvement of students and teachers, parents, others, for water conservation. It's not only an issue in Africa, it's a global issue. It's in our backyard, and so we have been successful in getting some additional funds available to develop curriculum so that more districts are able to implement water conservation standards and to teach the next generation. So thank you for doing that. And tell us a little bit more about Race to Reduce. I see you have a bumper sticker here, but why is it called Race to Reduce?
Well, the beginning of this program it predates any funding that we got from the legislation. The legislator. We had been experiencing in White Bear Lake a crisis. The lake levels had dropped precipitously. And this is back, I believe, in probably 2013 was the height of that issue. And it was widely discussed in the community. What do we do about it? Well, at H2O for Life, because our focus is on empowering youth, and we know that youth can be the most incredibly successful change agents, that Race to Reduce was born. There was an environmentalist in the community, we had a Green Corps member, and of course the commitment from White Bear Lake Schools to find a way to be able to embed the science and the advocacy for water and water resources within the curriculum in the schools. And our vision was to have students have that kind of immersion experience every year, beginning in kindergarten all the way through the 12th grade until they graduate. And so in doing that, instilling the water conservation ethics, advocating in the community for a broader ethical adoption of water conservation. And of course, it starts right in the homes. As the program began to take hold, thank you very much. Here in the Minnesota legislature, we got our first year of funding. And in that first year, grades 3, 4, and 5 curriculum were developed and then completely implemented in all of the elementary schools in White Bear Lake the following year. We were lucky enough to get a second year of funding, and then we went on to a kindergarten, first, and second grade development program.
So hundreds and hundreds of students have been involved, as well as teachers and parents and others.
Thousands. There are over 8,000 students in the White Bear Lake schools. And so if you think about every student going home and helping to change the habits of their immediate family, the impact is 3-4 times the actual contact with the kids. The kids also do things in the community. They participate in Market Fest, on the environmental night. They do walks for water, where they're not only raising awareness about the White Bear Lake itself, but raising money for schools in other countries.
Africa in particular. I've seen, and you have Africa, of course, in the T-shirt logo for H2O for Life, but they learn to think globally about the issue. And for example, while the water level may be up again at White Bear Lake, the need to conserve continues.
It's a never-ending need, especially now that I just saw on the news today that the Minnesota population is expected to increase by the current population of North Dakota. And the housing issue is really what the news broadcast was about this morning. But I immediately thought, and all the water needs that go with that. So we need to be water resource conscious all the time.
There's a poster there I see. So, tell us about some of the activities you mentioned, participation in festivals like Market Fest. There's posters, but this is a great poster you have here.
Yeah, we partner with the Minnesota Department of Health
show that?
each school year, and we help to sponsor a statewide poster contest for drinking water conservation in particular. And this year's theme was upstream, downstream, clean, clean, clean. And this is the elementary level winning poster this year. The purpose of the poster contest is not only to raise awareness, but among the students who participate. And this young lady is Sarvagna Vempati from Rush Creek Elementary School.
And in Maple Grove. So congratulations to her.
And these posters then go on to continue the advocacy message. They are posted at the state fair in
I
August.
love the display at the fair, and they have a whole area with various agencies that are involved in water and the regulation of water, and you see a number of these posters, a number of how-to kits and things. So for viewers, when you're at the state fair, please check out the exhibits on water.
Yeah, and we also participate in a number of other youth water conservation focused events each year, such as the Children's Water Festival, which is held for fourth graders on the state fairgrounds I think it's late September, early October. That is generally seen by, I think, over 1,200 students.
What do they do at the festival?
The kids have an opportunity to go to a variety of different stations, and I believe they go to somewhere between 4 and 6 stations throughout the day. There are volunteers from all of the watershed districts, nonprofits like ours, DNR, MPCA. The kids get to interact with people who are on the front lines with water conservation. And hopefully, if we inspire a few to go on to then have careers in water conservation, be activists here in Minnesota, then it's a wonderful way to be able to inspire and instill that ethic in kids.
Yeah, I believe that some of the students that participate in the program, they'll earn the title, if they wish, of Water Warrior.
Correct. Yes, and we just recently had a fellow visiting from Beijing, Shuling Huang, and she said, "Why do you call them warriors?" And it's because they're fierce about and passionate about conserving water. And so, we need people who are going to fight on the front lines to protect our resources.
One such person, Sophie Davis, she's a sophomore, going to be a junior at White Bear High School, and she's been testifying at the legislature since for about 4 years or more. It must be very gratifying for you to see the passion of these future leaders.
Tremendously. One of the things that I think is such a legacy about H2O for Life is Patty Hall, who began this just as a classroom project when she was still teaching before she retired. And now 10 years later, the kids that have been inspired, and then we see them go on to have careers in the sciences or careers in politics because they were inspired and they realized that what they did really had impact.
It matters. Yes. For viewers that you may have some tips that everybody could easily implement, and they collectively it makes a difference. So what are some of the standard things that you're sharing with our young people? And they may make sense to everybody, they may not. But so tell us again some of the main things people should be aware of on water conservation at home to make a difference.
There are so many simple things that we can all do, and it's in the context of our water is everyone's water. So what we do here at home matters because it will be somebody else's water somewhere else, either in this state or on the planet at some point. And in the past, it was someone else's water who then stewarded and protected it for us. So the simple things, like fixing leaks in your home, that's probably the biggest water waster
Yes.
And
you pay for that too.
do.
That's money.
Yeah.
I remember my dad, reminding us of that as kids in terms of how long the faucet might be on.
Yeah, every March during the World Water Week, we provide through the MPCA and DNR toilet testing tablets for the students in White Bear Lake to take to their homes.
Yes, the city's been very supportive of this, I know, as well.
Yes. Connie Talon, the environmental specialist in town, has been very supportive as well.
And for other municipalities in the viewership here, I'm sure that there would be such tablets available through their city, or they could contact
just contact
other
MPCA
groups.
or DNR.
The PCA, DNR.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can save money by doing this as well as conserving water.
And simple things like turning off the water when you're, washing dishes. Don't turn it on until you need to rinse, or use your dishwasher fully loaded. Turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth.
Yeah, it
take
doesn't
a
have
shorter
to be on.
shower. Be careful about when you water your lawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very important. And I remember one person said, "You mean you don't want us to take showers?" No, we're not against that, but within reason of the amount of water that's being used, because collectively it makes an impact.
Yep.
And in some countries they're rationing water. And when you look at the overall issues of water, I believe it's the #1 cause of death, of disease on our planet, not having clean water.
Yeah.
And so how we treat it as a resource, it truly is life. Water is life.
Yes, every living thing on this planet depends on it. And here in the U.S., on average, we use 80 gallons of water per person per day.
Yes.
And in places where the water crisis is really at such a heightened state, they're lucky if they have 4 gallons a day. We could do better.
Yes, we
could
can.
do better.
Your website has a lot of great information on some of the things we've touched on. If you want to share that website again.
Sure. It's for Race to Reduce. It's www.racetoreduce.org.
Okay.
And H2O for Life is h2oforlifeschools.org.
Wonderful. And yourself, please tell us about your journey for being involved on these issues.
Oh, sure. I'm a career science educator, and I began my teaching career back in New Jersey back in the late 80s and early 90s.
What subject in science?
Environmental science,
Great.
biology, and physics. And then I went on, after a 10-year career as a high school teacher, went on to be an adjunct at Seton Hall University and Fairleigh Dickinson University, teaching pre-service teachers in elementary science education and brain-based learning theory. Okay. Took some time off, and then I found a great job in upstate New York when my husband and I moved up there to raise our kids as a director of education for the Hudson Highlands Nature Museum in the Hudson Valley. And about 5 years ago, my husband took a job with Fairview Hospital Systems, and my daughter ended up doing an internship with Patty Hall. And when she finished her internship, she said, Mom, this is where you need to be.
And again, Patty Hall being the founder of the program.
Of our organization.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and now we have a great team. We have
a
staff of about 6, and it's grown from a staff of 3 when I first started with the organization 4 years ago, and we're very proud of the work we do.
Well, we're very proud of your work, your efforts, and we're so pleased that part of your journey has landed here. So we wish you continued success. And any concluding remarks, advice you'd like to share with viewers?
Well, I think that first and foremost, on behalf of the entire Race to Reduce team, Sarah Paul in the White Bear Lake School District, Patty Hall, and our organization, thank you for being an advocate for water and supporting this Race to Reduce project. It is a unique project that has the potential to make a difference far beyond the borders of Minnesota. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Judy, and it is making a difference. We're proud to be messengers for the efforts and look forward to even more success in the future. So
thank you.
Thanks for a job well done. And viewers, please check out the website, get involved, learn more. Go to that State Fair exhibit, and I know that you'll be entertained as well as educated and making a meaningful difference for our community as well as the planet. For Chuck Wiger, thank you so much for watching, and thank you again, Judy Onufer from Race to Reduce and H2O for Life.
You're quite welcome.
Good.